A car is a lot more than a medium of transportation that takes you from one spot to another. While that is their primary function, for some cars they are so much more than that. Many brands design amazing vehicles with great designs and cool features, but there is a whole subset of the industry that appeals to many desires. When it comes to supercars, two of the biggest brands worthy of the title are Ferrari and Lamborghini. While the two brands have an Italian origin, they are not buddies. Their story of origin is nothing short of a Hollywood production. It seems the only thing that these two brands have in common is the fact that they both came out of Italy. Everything else just seems to be a difference of opinion between the two brands. One brand has a raging bull, while the other features a prancing horse. Ferrari is based out of Maranello, while Sant'Agata Bolognese is home to Lamborghini. Despite their vast differences, it would be unfair not to acknowledge the fact that both brands have created some of the most striking, powerful, and drool-worthy vehicles in the world today. That being said, there are several arguments as to which supercar is better than the other. Just about every supercar enthusiast has their own opinion on which supercar brand is better. However, not everyone is armed with the rich knowledge about the two brands to make an informed decision about the prowess and awesomeness of Ferrari as the better brand of the two. So, in this video, you guessed it, we'll be sharing with you why Ferrari is better than Lamborghini. Hold on to your horses. It's going to be an interesting ride. Vroom. Enzo Ferrari was born in Modena, Italy, 1898. From a very young age, Ferrari was interested in motor racing. His career racing began in 1919 when he started as a works driver for Alfa Romeo. After 5 years of being a works driver, Ferrari established Scuderia Ferrari as Alfa Romeo's official racing division. The team was renamed Alfa Corse and Ferrari was made the head of the team. While that is a great stepping stone, Ferrari had bigger plans for himself. In 1939, Ferrari left Alfa Romeo and established Auto Avio Costruzioni in Modena. He then completed his first car, which he dubbed the 815, and competed it in the 1940 Mille Miglia. When World War II rolled around, the Italian industry and motor racing as a whole was halted. This prompted Ferrari to move his operations to Maranello in 1943. When the war came to an end, Ferrari then began construction of his first production car, the 125S. This 12-cylinder car went on to attain its very first victory in the Rome Grand Prix in 1947. His racing success continued with the first endurance win at the 1948 Mille Miglia and his first 24-hour Le Mans victory in 1949. In 1952, Ferrari had its first Formula One championship with Alberto Ascari as the driver. Although Ferrari suffered the huge loss of his son and 6 of his drivers between 1955 and 1965, the company continued to flourish in motor racing. Ferrari begins to experience some production problems in 1961 and decided to negotiate a sale to Ford Motor Company. However, at the last minute, Enzo decided to back down on the deal, annoying Ford and making an enemy out of them. 8 years later, in 1969, Enzo decided to sell half of his company to Fiat, and he finally resigned as president of his empire in 1977. Throughout his regime and even after, Ferrari released several amazing supercars that won the attention of many car enthusiasts all over the country and abroad. The 1970s witnessed Ferrari's first mid-engine V8 road cars. These vehicles included the 308 GTB, 308 GT4, and 308 GTS. In the 80s, Ferrari experienced quite the change when Fiat decided to increase its stake to 89%. Even after Enzo died in 1988, Ferrari continued to flourish and their road car performance leveled up. In the 90s, things got a little bit more curvaceous with the 550 Maranello, the F50, and the 360 Modena. The 2000s brought a return of Ferrari into motorsport and several victories. Some of them include 3 12 hours of Sebring victories, 1 24 hours of Daytona win, and 13 total F1 titles. On the commercial side, Enzo pushed his company to surpass several performance benchmarks, all while broadening its appeal. Ferruccio Lamborghini, on the other hand, started from a family of grape farmers. His interest in mechanics helped build his business, where he made tractors at the end of World War II. With a booming business, Lamborghini soon grew successful enough to afford a luxurious lifestyle. Among the sports cars he collected, a few were made by Enzo Ferrari. Observing some faults in engineering, he offered some constructive criticism to Enzo, but he was rudely rebuffed. Insulted, he decided to teach Ferrari a thing or two and decided he would build a better sports car than Ferrari. In 1966, Automobili Lamborghini was founded, and the second sports car factory was born. Lamborghini selected several talented engineers and even poached a couple of them from Ferrari to work on his first car. 6 months later, he started working on his vehicle. The Lamborghini 350 GTV was introduced. After the 350 GTV, Lamborghini started working on a larger engine, new gearbox, and 2x2 seating configuration. The release of the 400 GT model helped put Lamborghini on the map. With great success, Lamborghini scouted new talents who created interesting designs that further built his credibility as a sports car brand worthy of the name. The 400 GT's 12-cylinder engine was transversely mounted behind the cockpit, and drilled it had a welded sheet of metal that formed the lightweight chassis. The concept sports car debuted at the Turin Motor Show. After Ferruccio left Lamborghini in 1972, the Huracan and Silhouette models were added to the company. The company went bankrupt in 1980, but it was revived thanks to the assistance of new investors. Both companies have such interesting beginnings, but they have both been true to their founding fathers' dreams. Although Ferrari continues to compete in Formula One, it does not have as many successes as it did in the early 2000s. On the other hand, the road business continues to flourish as it releases new models and variants, much to the delight of many of its adoring fans all over the world. There are currently 10 core models, including but not limited to the 812 Superfast, GT C4 Lusso, 488 GTB, and the Portofino. As a member of the Volkswagen Group, Lamborghini is making a lot of sales with its vehicles. At present, there are only 3 series production models: the Urus, the Huracan, and the Aventador. Both Ferrari and Lamborghini are considered sports cars, but Ferrari offers Grand Tourer GT models. GT is still a high-performance car with high horsepower and high speeds. However, they offer more comfort and they are slightly larger. This makes them perfect for long-distance road travel. Lamborghini, on the other hand, does not offer GT models. Horsepower and speed are strongly associated with both brands. Even in the 1930s, Enzo Ferrari was banking on the need for speed when he designed his famous supercars. His predictions proved to be correct, as anyone who purchases a luxury car is greatly interested in speed. As of 2019, the fastest street-legal Ferrari is the 488 Pista. This vehicle comes with a maximum speed of a little over 210 miles per hour and the ability to accelerate to 60 miles per hour in under 3 seconds. The maximum speed of each car varies from model to model, but there are very few Lamborghini vehicles that can edge out a Ferrari vehicle when it comes to speed. Similarly, when looking at acceleration, the Lamborghini Aventador beat out the Ferrari 488 GTB by less than a second. More than speed, maintenance is another key factor that must be considered when it comes to owning a sports car. Regular maintenance prevents future costs from skyrocketing. More than that, it extends the life of the car and preserves a good driving experience. Ferrari offers a complimentary 7-year maintenance plan for new cars, and you can get yearly checkups on your vehicles at your dealership. Lamborghini offers various maintenance plans for its vehicles, including coverage for damages. Look, both brands have a great reputation for being reliable. To even consider purchasing a luxurious car, money should not be a problem. That said, Ferrari prioritizes luxury, and it comes up the more expensive of the two brands. The cheapest Lamborghini costs $182,000, while the cheapest Ferrari goes for $230,000. If you're looking to save money, then Lamborghini might be the better option, but for those willing to splurge and want something to show off, Ferrari is the car to go for. Both Ferrari and Lamborghini pride themselves on their ability to customize vehicles to suit their customers' tastes. That said, they both have typical designs that can help offer uniqueness and style to each vehicle. Neither of the vehicles is particularly boxy. They feature smooth lines and sleek curves. The main difference between them both is the drama. For those who like the bold and the dramatic, Ferrari is by far the best option. Ferrari relies heavily on dramatic edges and triangular patterns that interrupt the smooth flow of the rest of the design. Lamborghinis, on the other hand, can be a bit staid with the universal roundness. Both Ferrari and Lamborghini do so well on the markets and racing field. Choosing between either of them depends largely on taste and style. With every minute difference, Ferrari edges out Lamborghini on the comparison chart. However, it largely boils down to taste. So I've got a big question for you. Which of these supercar brands do you think is better? Let us know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and consider subscribing to our channel if you haven't already, because we post luxury content on a weekly basis. Goodbye, Lux Cats. Until next time.